Hi everyone, welcome to RPA Explorers channel. In this video, we are going to explore about ServiceNow RPA Design Desktop Studio. Before jumping into the studio, let's get started with a quick introduction to what is RPA and ServiceNow RPA. RPA, which is the robotic process automation. In general, it can be used to automate mundane and repetitive tasks, which can emulate human actions. And it has a lot of benefits as well, in which we can get an output with increased efficiency and improved accuracy as well. And it reduces cost. The main advantage of using RPA is a low code platform, and it provides us a low code solution in which you have to drag and drop your activities or component to build your automation. Coming to the ServiceNow RPA tool, which is a powerful tool to automate your process by drag and drop of the components. It helps business to improve efficiency as well with low code solution. It also uses AI and machine learning algorithms to automate them. It also will integrate with other applications such as Excel, Java, Windows, and other web-based applications as well.
Okay, now let's get started with the studio. So once you launch your studio, you will be landed to this page, which is home screen of the studio. Here we have three different options. So the first option is unattended automation, where you can create a process which runs independently without human intervention. And the second is attended, where you can create a process which basically requires human intervention, like either to start or to complete the process. And the third type is skill, in which you can create automation which can be reused in your other process as well. For example, you can create a process which sends email or login or logging out of an application which can be reused in your other process as well. Resources under which you have sample automation. So if you are new to the ServiceNow RPA Studio, then you can start with the sample automations. From the project tab, you can open your recent and pinned projects. Now let's go to the new tab. Again, it's the same option to create your automation project. And going to the open option, first is open local project, where you can open your file explorer projects. And the second is open remote project, where you can open your automation project from the RPA hub. And you can use the save option to save your project. And save as it will just prompt with a window where you can browse your folder and you can save this. And you can use this close option to close the home screen of the studio. Settings tab, where you have an option to change your package location. So if you want, you can change the package location as well, and you can enable this if you need with attended automation. So I'll go ahead and create this. Click on this, provide the name. You can change the location as well. This is in the basic tab. And here, by default, you have some plugins. So in RP, plugins are like add-ons, which gives us the features or capabilities to interact with different applications. So based on the application you interact with, you can install them. So in the upcoming videos, I'll show how to install and how to use different plugins as well. And now let's click on OK. Once you click on OK, you will be get into this page, which is basically a design tab of the ServiceNow Studio, first, which is run. So you can use this run option to run your automation and move next. So that's to move the focus of the automation to the next component while the process is running. I stop this to stop your automation at any point. Option is clear log, which helps us to clear log on top of each and every component. So here in ServiceNow, it has the capability to show us the execution log on top of each and every component. So you can use this clear log option to clear them before you start your process. And clear breakpoints. So it's basically to pass the execution at the defined point. Like you can define your breakpoint at any component of the automation, which pass the execution at the defined point so that you can check the status of the automation. Coming to this assign bot process. So this is basically to assign the robot which is available in the RPA hub for the current automation. So before you assign your bot to the process, you should be using this connect to instance to connect your studio and ServiceNow. So once the service now is connected, then you can use this assign bot process to assign your robot to the process. The next option is minimize studio. So you can enable this option if you want to minimize the studio every time you run your process. And again, auto serve is just to save your process automatically. And yeah, attach. So this is like if you have any local or remote logs which you want to view in ServiceNow instance, then you can attach them. We have replay, pass, stop, which can be reused while you are debugging the process. And also you have an option to increase the speed of your logs. So you can just do this. And we have publish, which is basically to publish your automation skills. So you can view all the skills which is available in the RPA hub and samples. So this sample automation is again same as we notice in the home screen. So this is basically the same as the sample automation, where it has different levels. So you can get started with this if you are new. And coming to the project folder, it will just open the folder of the current process you're working and remove unused resources. So when you click on this, you'll get different options to remove unwanted resources. For example, you could use this option to remove your plugins, variables and everything. So you just have to enable and click on OK in such way. Unused variables or plugins will get deleted. So this insert between and auto join, it's basically to join a component in between two components and insert it between two components, which can be used while you build your automation. So we'll explore them as well. And we have launch recorder, which is basically to record your mouse and keyboard action. It's just simple that you can record your screen and which turns into an automation. Now let's go to the view panel. And here we have 4 different options at the top, which is Toolbox, Project Explorer, Properties, and Object Explorer. So these 4 are the most used option to build your automation. So when I click on this Toolbox, so this will open up this specific box, which is basically a group of components, or it consists of many components. So for example, let me go with the first one. So I'll just take this mouse. Yeah. So this is how the component look like. So each and everything is like a component which is grouped based on the category and it belongs to the toolbox. And coming to the properties tab. So this will give you the properties of the specific component you select. So for example, I have selected this. As you can see, the properties on the properties tab and Project Explorer. So this Project Explorer will show you the complete workflows, details, plugins, and global connectors and everything, which can be viewed here. And we have Object Explorer. So in order to use Object Explorer, you must be using some connectors so that you can view the method in the Object Explorer. For example, I go back to the toolbox. I'll type in connectors. So for this example, let me go with Excel. So you just have to drag and drop your connectors to this global object. So if you double click on this connector, it will open the Project Explorer where you can see the available methods. We have different methods like add new worksheet, copy, delete column, delete row and everything. So this is how this Object Explorer works. And the next option is plugin manager. So this is to add your plugin. So as I mentioned, based on the application you can go ahead and you can install your applications as well. But if you're interacting with any Windows-based application, then go ahead and click on install it. And you also have option to install different versions as well. Console log. So this console log will show all the output messages that you have added into your workflow, which can be viewed in the console log panel. And execution log is something which shows a detailed logging of each and every component. So it has different columns as well. You can view them here. Use this find option to find your component in the current project or in the entire project. Next is references, which basically gives us an option to find all the reference of the specific connector variables or something. So this is about the view option. I hope you all might have an idea about Studio and the different elements in it. So in the coming videos, we'll get started with the automation.